We're now looking at exercise 11.5 theory. So, exercise 11.5 theory. Now, in exercise 11.4, we looked at the parabolas x squared equals 4ay. And if you read that backwards, you can think of y equals x squared type. So that's the normal concave up. And we looked at x squared equals minus 4ay type, which is concave down. Because you can think of it as y equals negative x squared when you read it backwards, okay? Today, we're looking at y squared equals 4ax type. Now, the first diagram up there is not going to help you much, but I'm going to look down here at the bottom of the page first. See, y squared equals 4ax type of parabola is a parabola that's turned to the side. Okay? Did we do those earlier in the year or not? Okay, so this is like x equals, you know how I've got y squared equals 4ax? It's really like, if you read it backwards, x equals y squared type, where if I turn this around, you're using, instead of y being there and x here, you've got x there and y there. Okay, so it's the sideways parabola. Because the positive values of x are here, this is the positive y squared equals 4ax type. Does that make sense? The negative type will be over there. So girls, let's have a look at it. This is the parabola y squared equals 4ax. It's the sideways one. How do you remember which one's the normal one? You think of y equals x squared is the same as x squared equals 4ay type. X squared equals 4ay type is upwards like that. X squared is minus 4ay type is down. Y squared equals 4ax type faces the positive x values over here. Okay? So, tell me what the focus would be here. If the focal length is A, always girls, the focal length is A. So what would be the coordinates of the focus? A0, good. So focus is at A0. Girls, you do not learn these off by heart because there's 8 different ones to learn. You just do it by sketching. A units, so we're just going A units from there. Directrix will be A units back from the vertex. So what's the equation? Tell me what x value this is here. Negative 8, because that's the y-axis. So the equation of the directrix would be x equals minus a. Does that make sense? Okay, the vertex, 0, 0. The axis of the equation is this, because if you fold, this is where your axis of symmetry is. Now that's the x-axis. So what's the equation of that? Y equals 0. The focal length is still a units, distance from the vertex to the focus, a units, and the latus rectum will now be not a horizontal line but a vertical line. Do you remember the length of the latus rectum? How many units? 4a units. But girls, you don't have to know that off by heart, but the latus rectum is perpendicular to the axis, but it passes through the focal point, the focus, sorry, and it's parallel to the directrix. So the directrix has equation x equals negative a. Now, if I want to prove all this, I can go up to the top of the page and just do a proof, okay? But all you need to know in the end is that this sideways type is y squared equals 4ax, or if you read it backwards, x equals y squared type would be this way. All right? I really don't want to. I might just do one proof. I'm not going to do 6 proofs today, girls. You can just go to the textbook. So if I'm going to form, here's my fixed point. Sorry, no, it's not. Here's my fixed point, the focus. There's my directrix. So the parabola would look like this. Okay, so girls, do you remember how we did all those proofs before? How to come up with the equation y squared equals 4ax. We might just do it. The locus of a point P moving so that it is equidistant from the point A0, so this is my focus A0, and the line x equals negative a, will be a parabola with equation y squared equals 4ax. Let's just prove that. We know that PA equals PB. The coordinates, I'll just zoom this in a bit. The coordinates of P are xy, the coordinates of A are A0, and the coordinates of B, see it's got a negative, the x value is negative A, and the y value is up here, which would have the same y value as that. So the hard point to do is this one. The coordinates of point B are negative a back and up y units, the same as that. So we know that point P moves so that it is an equal distance from the focus and the directrix. Okay, P could come down here as well, or P could come across here. Okay, so we know that PA equals PB, or PA squared equals PB squared. Come up with an expression for PA squared. What would it be? X minus PA squared. A squared plus, and there's 0 squared, equals, now PB, X minus, yeah, X plus A squared, because it's X minus negative A squared. Sorry, I'm off video. Plus Y minus Y squared, that Y minus that one, plus Y minus Y squared. The reason there are no square root signs, this is the distance formula, but because I'm doing PA squared equals PB squared, I don't need the square roots. So then we get X squared, let's expand it, minus, plus, A squared, plus, equals, squared plus, plus 0. Okay, so looking at what's identical on the left and right, the x squareds are the same, they cancel. The a squareds are the same, they cancel. And you're left with y squared equals 2ax, and bring that 2ax over, plus 2ax. In other words, y squared equals 4ax. Okay, so that is the equation of the sideways parabola. See, girls, we have what we call concave up is up, concave down is down. There's no concave left or concave right. We just say parabola turning to the left, parabola turning to the right. Okay? All right, girls, so are we okay with this? Okay, sideways type parabola. Okay, y squared equals 4ax. That's all I need you to get out of this. And that the focus is a units that way, the directrix is a units back that way. That's all. The other type, but I'm not going to do the proof for this one, so you can do it later when you've got some time. They're all in your book anyway, but I really want to, look, I don't have to do 8 proofs. They're all done exactly the same way. All right? So this is the y squared equals minus 4ax type, and it turns backwards here. How will you remember? The x values here are negative all the way along here. This is the y-axis, and that's the x-axis. So, girls, the focal length will be A. So where's the focus? A units, here's the vertex at 0, 0. Vertex is 0, 0. What's focal length is A. So the focal length is A, as it is with all parabolas, girls. The focal length's always A. Give me the coordinates of the focus, which would be just here. What are the if this is 0, 0 and your A units back, give me the coordinates of the focus. Minus A0. So the focus is at minus A0. Oh, girls, I've got to fix something up on the top of the page, and I'll do it in a minute. What's the axis of symmetry? It's this, the x-axis. So its equation is y equals 0. And the directrix will be A units back from here, which is, what's the equation? Yeah, that's A, but what's the equation of the line? X equals A. So everywhere along that line, X is A. Now, what you need to do is go up to the top of the page. In that little box at the top of the page, I've put, and it's the locus of a point. Can I move this now or not? Okay, up the top of the page, there's a mistake. It says the locus of a point moving so that it is equidistant from the point negative A0, that's the focus, and the line, this should be X equals A, not Y equals negative A. I've obviously done a copy and paste. So it's X equals A, if you can fix that up. Girls, I don't even want you remembering that anyway. Don't learn all that, you'll just get so confused. All I want you to know is that this type is y squared equals, that this type is y squared equals minus 4ax, and that type is y squared equals 4ax. That's all I want you to get from that. Is that okay? So if I do a quick summary of the 4 types, are we okay with that? Yes? This is on the back of your sheet. If I had to summarize the 4 types, this is what all I want you to know, because girls, the working is the same for everything. This is what I want you to know. This, that one, wait a sec. So we've got those 2 and these 2, sideways and sideways. All you need to know so far is give me the general equation of each type of those. Go, first one. This is, you look at it and you say that's the y equals x squared type. So I need the x squared with a normal y. So that's the x squared equals 4ay. But you'll remember it because y equals x squared. This is the concave down version. These 2 go together. So this is x squared is minus 4ay. And which one of these is the positive? This one, because it's got the positive x values. So this is y squared equals 4ax. And this type is y squared equals minus 4ax. And that's all you've got to know so far. Y squared equals minus 4ax. Okay, girls? That's what you need to know. All right, I'm going to do some examples, all right, from your exercise. I would just call it y squared equals 4ax and y squared equals minus 4ax. That's those parabolas. Okay? So exercise 11.5 is all about the sideway parabolas, y squared equals 4ax and y squared equals minus 4ax. With the first question, it says find the equation of the parabola with focus 9, 0, directrix negative x equals negative 9. Please don't go and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I just want a quick sketch. Where's the focus? At 9, 0, it does not have to be to scale. Oh, I can even put it back there, but it doesn't matter. 9, 0 is my focus. My directrix, x equals negative 9. Where is... Okay, I must be on... Right. Okay, the girls, the focus is 9, 0 just there. The directrix is this equation, the line x equals negative 9. All right, I must be on continuous focus. I'll just fix it. One sec. Always hugs the focus and turns away from the directrix, so it looks like that. So this is what that's what you'll be able to do. You never turn the parabola and cross over the directrix. Don't get the directrix confused with the latus rectum, please. It's like a little face, and there's the nose. The focus is the nose. You can call it the mouth of some people, focus of their face. Let's go nose. All right, so see the mouth and the nose, or the eye. Cyclops, whatever you want to think. Okay, girls, what type of parabola? Y squared equals 4ax type of parabola, isn't it? Okay, so what do we know? Do we know what a is? A is the distance from the vertex to the... So it's 9 units. Remember, a is always positive no matter what. So therefore, this parabola is y squared equals 4 times 9 times x. In other words, y squared equals 36x. Okay, that's your first one. That's okay, I'm waiting. Question 2, let's do question 2e. Find the equation of the parabola with focus negative 2, 0 and directrix. What do you think the directrix is going to be? X equals? Good. A quick sketch. Can I move this down? A quick sketch of that, drawing where the focus is at negative 2, 0, and the directrix is here at x equals 2. All these parabolas that we've done so far, this is the y-axis, that's the x-axis. Which way does the parabola turn? To the left. So therefore, this is, so we're going to follow exactly what we did up there. What type is this? Y squared equals negative 4ax type. What does a equal? Do not put that a is negative 2. The negative type is already taken into account by writing y squared equals minus 4ax. A is called the focal length, and a length is always positive. So what's the length from there to there? That's the focal length from there to there. What is it? 2 units. Please, I do not want to see focal length A is negative 2 for anything. It's never negative, the focal length. It's a length that's always positive, but you get the negative parabola because you say this is that type of parabola. Okay, so we've got y squared. So y squared equals minus 4 times 2 times x, which is y squared is minus 8x. So this second parabola is y squared equals minus 8x. Is question 3i. Find the coordinates of the focus and equation of the directrix of this parabola. First thing we do is sketch it. This is which type? Y squared equals 4ax type. Positive or negative? Because y squared is something x. Just because the number, what is the number? No, there's no negative there. What is the number in front of the x? 1. Just because, girls, up here, you're all comfortable with y squared equals 36x, y squared equals negative 8x, just because this is y squared equals x.
So they gave us that equation.
Yes, they said find the coordinates of the focus and equation of the directrix of this parabola. Y squared of the parabola, you can write. Y squared equals x. Which type? So you've got to tell me one of the 4 types. Is it x squared equals 4ay? Is it x squared equals minus 4ay? Is it y squared is 4ax? Or is it y squared is minus 4ax? I'd say the match is y squared is 4ax. Now, y squared equals x means y squared equals 1x. So therefore, comparing, girls, therefore, what equals, go? 4a equals 1. So therefore A is a quarter. I've chosen this one on purpose, all right, because I knew you'd maybe struggle with it. Okay. Girls, do you see it's the y squared and the x type? There's no negative. So therefore, girls, I'm going to do a sketch now. Which way does the parabola turn? To the right. Now, it does not have to be to scale. Just because the focal length is a quarter, you don't have to draw it right there so you can't even see it. You're allowed to put a quarter here. And you're allowed to put the directrix back here at where? So we've got negative a quarter there. So the directrix is x is negative a quarter. And what's the focus? How do you get there? A quarter units across. Girls, remember the vertex is at 0, 0. So how do you describe this point? The focal length is a quarter. So this is a quarter across, nothing up or down. So therefore the focus is 1/4, 0, and the directrix is x equals, what's the equation of that line? X equals negative a quarter. Girls, do not go learning all those equations you've been given in theory. There's no point. You'll just get confused. I don't even know them. I just draw them. I draw it. You can do every question by drawing and identifying what type and working out A. That's all you need to do. Okay?
What about A? How do you know it's A?
Because it's the y squared equals x type. So y squared equals 1x. Because with all these others, you seem to have a number in front of the x. So what number is in front of the x here? 1. Does that make sense? Y squared equals x means y squared equals 1x. Woms, if I put y squared equals 8x, could you do that one? Gloria, we'll keep going. Okay. For J, find the coordinates of the focus and equation of the directrix of this parabola y squared equals minus 5x. This is, if we look at the 4 possible types up here, we can see that it's the y squared equals negative something x type. So it's the last type there, y squared equals minus 4ax type. So, y squareds are the same, equals are the same, the negative signs are the same, and the x's are the same. I do not want to see any negatives in this equating what equals what. 4a is equal to 5. We're doing a direct comparison between this top line and the bottom one. Okay? Not 4a is negative 5. Do you see what I'm doing? Do you understand why? The negatives are already taken into account. That 4a has to match with that 5 only. So therefore, what does a equal? 5 on 4, which is 1 1/4. So let's draw what this parabola looks like. Which way does it go? It's not up or down, because that would be the x squared is 4ay type. It's to the left. How are you going to remember that? You've got the negative x values here. You're not going to remember it from here. They're positive y's and negative y's. It's because you've got the negative x values there. So, how many units back? What would be the coordinates of the focus and the equation of the directrix? What's the length? All right. This is 0, 0. Am I going towards the positive or the negative numbers? Negative what? So what's the focus? All right, I'm just going to put that that's negative 5 on 4, and this is the 0.5 on 4. So the focus, its coordinates are going across to negative 5 on 4, but you're not going up or down. Comma 0. Does that make sense? And what is the equation of the directrix? Yeah, this happens to be x equals 5 on 4, and x does equal 5 on 4 for the whole of that line. So x equals 5 on 4. Okay? Now, we're going to just maybe look at another 1 or 2 questions, and then we're going to get on to exercise 11.6. Girls? I'll go down a bit more. So question 6F. Find the coordinates of the focus, the equation of the directrix, and the focal length for the parabola 3y squared equals x. Something wrong with that parabola? Yeah, we don't want to, there's nothing as something y squared. We need y squared is something. So we've got 3y squared equals x. I don't want it looking like that. I need y squared equals 4ax type. So that's x over 3, or y squared equals, write that as a coefficient of the x. Something times x. What is it? What's in front of the, that's a 1. So it's 1/3 x. So you need to write it like that. I've chosen this one because we've got a fraction here. Now, what type of parabola is this one? The y squared equals 4ax type. So that one will look, which way does it turn? It's not the normal ones up and down, it's the sideway one to the right, because that's where the positive x values are. Okay? So y-axis, x-axis, comparing these two equations, what equals what? 4a equals 1/3, and so a is, what are you going to do with that 4? It's 1/3 divided by 4, which is 1/3. You can just do it on your calc, times 1/4, which is 1/12. Is it? Yeah. Because 4 on 12 would give you 1/3. So the focal length is pretty small. It's 1/12, but please don't try and draw 1/12. You'll just put a 12th here.
And you know it's that way because the A is on. Because
it's the positive type. Y squared equals 4ax type, you know it's facing the positive x values.
Yep.
It's got nothing to do with the y's because you've got positive and negative y values, you see. So, and this is 1/12 units back. So what's the coordinates of the focus? Like it's xy value when we talk about coordinates. Focus is, the x value is 1/12. What's its y value? And the directrix is, it's x equals negative 1/12. Okay? And of course the vertex is 0, 0. I'll just write it down. They didn't ask for it, but it's 0, 0. Okay? So don't be afraid if you get fractions, please, girls. You just solve it. Sorry? Focal, oh yeah, and the focal length is, yep, it's 1/12, which is A. Okay, there it is. There's your focal length, which is A. All right, we might do one question on focal chord. Actually, girls, I think I've done enough. One second. Please, could you please do for homework exercise 11.5, question 1, G and J, question 2, H and J, question 3, EHJ, question 4, EHI, question 5, FGH. You will need to do substitutions for G and H, and questions 7 through to 10.